fans get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now following the interception, here's Newton. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Newton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 43-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity. Treated it.
He's got a man, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Romeo Okwara in on the tackle. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 2 yards.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Now Newton on first down. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Jones has it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A carry now for McKissick. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
At their own 42-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 70-0 leads. They don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Mike Daniels just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Newton to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 23-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Cook. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. It's hauled in by Dodson. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
20. 2 times. 3 down.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Newton, and Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score, Vikings 14, Lions 0.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this, man. Gun. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
On 1st down, Cook. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early? and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game, that's a lot to carry around.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Stafford. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only this. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Sherrills to return it. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready? Ready? I got him. Ready?
On 3rd down, Newton in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Devon Kennard. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here comes Amendola. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Running from the gun, it's Abdullah. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off play action. Newton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. On the move to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. They fake the give. Newton sliding out of the pocket. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen there to make the grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point try by Bailey. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 2nd and 9. Stafford, he's going to sling this deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Gun.
Throwing on 2nd down. Newton escaping the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Newton. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Steps away. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Newton. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
This is a screen to Abdullah. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
This complete to Jones. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on this.
And now here is another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Flush to his right. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He juked him. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter play. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 39-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 22, Newton dancing to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit.
And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there, but it'll be second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, well, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They go quickly here out to Doxson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
It's a gain of a yard.
20.
To throw on 3rd down. Newton, they'll roll him out right. Open man here is Conklin. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And look at this. It's a fake. The 20. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. From the red zone now, Newton. Buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
1st and goal, Minnesota.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Vikings, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.